Good evening, everyone. So sorry about those technical issues that we're facing. Dr. Biju actually connected with us, but he was unable to hear us. He could see us, but he couldn't hear. He couldn't talk with us. So we are just trying to see if we can stream him through either here or through Zoom. But in the meanwhile, I'd like to invite Mr. Yen Ten, who's going to be who's going to be a moderator for the evening. He's going to talk a little bit about the film, and then we'll start taking questions from the audience. And Dr. Biju will join us really soon. Thank you for your patience. Hi, Yen.
Hi, Sweta. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to get this going. I sort of looked up. I don't know if you guys have looked up Dr. Biju's work in the past and so forth, but I understand that Trees Under the Sun won like the Golden Goblet Award at the Shanghai International Film Festival, and it's like the first Indian film that won that award. And my understanding is that Golden Goblet is kind of like a big deal at the Shanghai International Film Festival. It's almost like the equivalent of the Palme d'Or at Cannes, so it's kind of like a main prize, which is like a really big deal. Yeah, so I guess you know, we can sort of get started on sort of talking about the film in the meantime before Dr. Biju joins us. I don't know if anyone has any sort of interesting sort of observations or thoughts or interpretations that you want to, you know, we can sort of have this as an open sort of discussion for now. I personally really enjoyed it, and when I was talking to Dr. Biju before he had internet problems, I basically told him that, you know, it's a movie that should have been seen on a big screen just because of how visual it is, and that there was also that the thing that happened with it, which was it was meant to be a theatrical release, and then this was like in February 2020, and the theatrical life kind of got cut short because of the pandemic. But yeah, so for now, does anyone have anything to share? I guess we'll be going through the general chat window is where I should be looking for something. Okay, I see it now. From Ram. I'm curious about the symbolism of the Nat Geo rectangle that appeared several times. I'm assuming you're talking about the yellow rectangle. I never thought about it in terms of I guess the National Geographic logo in a way, but that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's funny that was actually one of the questions I was gonna ask him to see if he you know, wanted to share his take or whether he wanted us to interpret ourselves. I think symbolism-wise, it means something, and also I think it also ties into the dream logic of the characters as well. Like I think it all sort of has a very specific meaning to it, but for now, I can't really answer that because I think I'm just gonna make up nonsense if I try to answer that or sound unintelligent. So is there anything else? Does anyone have any, I don't know, not questions per se, but more like thoughts and feelings about the film? Okay, the lead female wasn't a very developed character. Does anyone here recognize the locations of where the story is set, or has any sort of like knowledge about these different places that the film encompasses?
Yan, should we invite them on stage so they can ask the question and then we can have like a discussion?
Yeah, totally. That'll be great. I was like trying to figure out how to do that. So what do I do?
Perfect. Ram, if you want to have a discussion, since you asked the first question, do you want to turn on your mic and camera?
Hi, Ram.
There you go. Okay.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, great. Okay. Yeah, you already mentioned that we should probably wait for Dr. Biju to appear to talk about, some of the symbolisms, right? Especially the rectangle that Alka also was just about. I found, the first part of the story where it was set in Kerala, in southern part of, India, was very familiar to me. So the monsoon is a big thing there, and the capturing of the monsoons and how the life goes about during those difficult months of constant rain, right? And all that stuff was captured. The sound effects, the aerial photography, the drone photography he used, astonishingly good. The Kerala scenes were so beautiful. And Himachal Pradesh, I'm not quite familiar with, so I can't really say. We were not even sure that snow happens in Himachal Pradesh, so it happens like that. So I really loved the movie. I just want to wait for Dr. Biju to come and we can talk about it. But I just want to say, thanks for moderating this chat here. And
yeah, of course. Yeah, no.
Look forward to an interesting conversation now.
Thank you. I do too. Thank you, Ram.
Yeah.
I was actually very interested in finding out more about all the monsoon rain scenes as well, just to find out what's the technicality and the challenges of shooting it in that way. Because I think most of the time, in most movies anyway, I think this idea of creating artificial rain is always like what people usually do so they could control it. But I have a feeling in this film it's actually natural, which again I'm curious about how they went about accomplishing that.
Dr. Biju is here, but I think his audio is not working.
Oh no. Okay.
Dr. Biju, would you like to turn on your camera?
Audio is not working. He can type in the chat, maybe?
Yes, maybe he can type in the chat. Yes, absolutely. He's having some technical issues. Hey, Annie.
Hey, Shweta.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, I saw you invited me. I don't know what.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, someone asked. I think you asked like where this was shot, and
yes,
I think it's already been discussed. Like it's shot in Kerala. That's the state I come from. I grew up there. And you also asked like the rain. I'm not sure how Dr. Biju did it, but
yeah,
it rains a lot. It rains between June and November. It rains incessantly, like pretty much. So it's not difficult to capture if you shoot during those months.
The season, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Did the film, since that's were you born and raised there?
Yes.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Kerala.
Did the film provoke any nostalgia or feelings for you when you were watching it?
So Kerala is supposed to be one of the most progressive states in India. So if and there is actually one dialogue where the main character is inviting the landlord, the zamindar, right? To his house, and his friend was like really shocked to see that, and he warns him not to do that because he says that if lower caste people are treated badly in Kerala, like it's so much worse in that part of the country, like the Himachal Pradesh. Just imagine that Kerala being the most progressive state in India, people are facing this kind of discrimination problems. There are a few, like the incident in the bus where this guy was accused of stealing somebody else's purse. Something similar has happened before, even real life incidents, right? So there was a tribal guy who was accused of stealing rice from somewhere, and people. And then there's this mob mentality of mob justice, right? People try to beat the truth out of the person, and it went wrong severely. That guy died. So I wanted to ask Dr. Biju about, like, if he was alluding to that incident. The person who died, his name is Madhu, and it's a pretty well-known incident. So if Dr. Biju ever comes on, and I wanted to ask him, like, if that was the inspiration for that scene in the bus or not. Yeah, but it's very subtle. Like, he didn't use. I was thinking that he was going to use police brutality, or the mob trying to beat him up. He didn't do any of that, so he was very restrained about all of this. Yet it left such an impression on the main character. He decides to migrate from the southernmost state to the northernmost state in India, right? From the land of sun to the land of snow.
Right.
Yeah. So the title also alludes to that, right? VEYILMARANGAL basically means trees of sun, right?
Yeah.
The trees of sun, they don't normally fare well in snowy conditions.
Oh, I think we have Dr. Biju coming on.
Hi, everyone. So we are going to be streaming Dr. Biju's audio from my device.
Okay.
But he can hear you.
Okay.
And you can see him. So you can wave, Dr. Biju, maybe.
Hi, Dr. Biju. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Ananya's phone. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, great. So we'll just jump right into it. I have a feeling a lot of people here have questions they want to ask you too, so I want to keep my section short. Just to start off, like, my first question would be, can you talk about what the origin of this particular story for you, in terms of where did this come from? If it came from a personal place for you, or did it came from something that you were inspired by that was happening, and so forth? The origin of the story.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Actually, this origin of the stories came from many real stories. I put together many real stories. There is so many people in Kerala. They are facing the same situation. They are facing losing their land, or either they have no land and their job is insecurity. So there is a lot of issues are popping up here, and especially the lower social class people, the lower caste people, they experience this type of problem consistently in our state. Not in Kerala, it is generally in India. So I portrayed all these characters together, and some elements from the real stories, some element from the imagination. So I put together all these things and portrayed these characters. So almost all the characters are from real life, actually, we can say.
Awesome. One of the things that I think a lot of the audience like to hear your take on, it's kind of like the symbolism and the dream logic that is a recurring motif throughout the film. Specifically, the golden rectangle or the yellow rectangle, and I guess we're curious in terms of, like, what is your what does that mean to you, and what is your interpretation of that? Because I feel like a lot of us will probably have our own interpretations of it, but it will be interesting to see what is your take on it as the creator of this.
Yeah, actually, that yellow rectangle is I symbolized for a home. The film is all about homeless people, and the boy is always dreaming about his own home. So the film is starting itself with the this home is set in a fire, like this rectangle frame is set in a fire. So in the end also he is dreaming again about this home. So it is repeatedly come in the film in so many dream sequence, this rectangle, the yellow rectangle. So it is only symbolizing this the home, the dream of the home. They are always dreamed, or they are always wanted have an own home. So that is the basic plot of this film. So it represents the home itself.
We're gonna just jump into questions from the audience.
Okay, I can help you with that, Ian.
Hi, Dr. Bijukumar. This is Ramdas Menon. I have a question about the 12-year-old kid, the protagonist's son. Kerala is a high literacy state. It's got a pretty good educational system. What I'm wondering is why this 12-year-old child was out of school in Kerala, one. And two, he goes to Himachal, which is another state in India which has high educational attainment. I mean, school age enrollment is almost 95%. So I'm wondering why this child is not in school.
That is a regular question I received from everywhere, because that's true that in Kerala also almost all the children are going to the school. But still, when we examine the society in detail, especially in the lower society like the tribes and the Dalits, there is a lot of children still drop out from the school. That is happening. It is a very small percentage, but it is there. If we are traveling to a tribal village in Kerala or in a Dalit the colony, we are studied like the Dalit colonies. Many people are dropped out from school due to various reasons, especially the economical reasons, or they can't able to school because they need to find their daily bread from their own work. So that's also a situation in Kerala, but it is a very, 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 very few percentage. But it is also there. So I represented this just a 1% representation. That is why I saw this child is not going to school and helping his parents.
Okay, I'll drop off and let somebody else ask a.
So we'll have someone else come.
Yes, Ranjit, can you come up to stage and ask your question?
Hi, sorry, great movie. I wasn't expecting to be put on stage, but one question I had, the symbolism of the storks. I mean, I was just curious, was there anything in sort of the dead stork and, what it means, or, just kind of your take on why that imagery was put in the scene.
Okay, you are talking about the dream sequence which the birds are on dead.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So actually, the place they lived earlier, the island, that is a place which is famous for the migrating birds. So in one scene, the lead character is itself saying about he's talking to his wife that did you remember the migrant birds which are coming to our island? So usually this place is this island is really a place of migrant birds are mostly came, and these characters are seeing all these migrant birds, and they are compared themselves with this type of migrant birds. So they are traveling from one place to another place, and they have no land, they have no shelter. So they are thinking. He's thinking about himself like a migrant bird. That is the dream behind it. So at the same time, when he talking about these migrant birds to the wife, at the same time, at the same night, he saw these dreams. So it is a symbolic representation of their life with these migrant birds.
I saw a question from Ram. Do you want to come on the stage to ask that question, or I can ask for you too if you're unable to?
Oh, I can ask.
Okay, great.
Hey, Dr. Biju, I really want to say thank you for making a wonderful film. I'm from Tamil Nadu, and I've been to Kerala many times, and your capturing of the backwaters and especially the aerial view of the backwaters and all that stuff was beautiful. I really appreciate that one. Question I have is, the first part of the film during monsoon rains. That I know how heavy the rains could be in Kerala. So it must have been very difficult to make that part of the film. And I would like to hear about your experience of actually going about doing it and anything that you share with the audience here.
Okay. Yeah, actually, the shoot was done during the monsoon itself in June, July. It is this island is actually a real island. It is called Monroe Island. This island, as mentioned in the film, this island is really now on a sinking stage. It is sinking to the sea. So during the monsoon, it is very difficult to shoot that place because our location is a place which we are traveling through the boat. We can only arrive at the location through the boat only and then walk through a narrow path. So during the monsoon, all these places will become muddy. And actually it was hectic to shoot the place because all the crew have difficult to walk towards this location, and it is very difficult to work. But we are planning this work during the real monsoon itself because we are wanted to shoot the original rain. So that's why we choose the same season. But it was a very difficult shooter. But thanks to my whole crew, because all the crew members were supported me a lot for carrying all these equipments through this muddy place and through this heavy rain. So actually it was a very difficult part for shooting. In all this film, the monsoon part was very difficult to shoot.
And we have a question from someone who is from our programming team, Sean. He said, what happened to the family post-work at the orchard? Do you think they felt more empowered?
You asked the family after left the orchard towards the end. That actually I put an end to the movie actually without a full stop, because sometimes they maybe find another place, or sometimes they may be return to Kerala. But in the end, they are expressing their hope that they will travel and live like the birds. The birds are going somewhere else. They have no any particular places to stay. They can go to any places. So these people are also have the faith that they can live anywhere and they can work everywhere. So I didn't put a full stop to this movie. So after this movie, I think the audience can think what could be their future. Is it they are surviving or not? That I left to the audience actually.
I think that we just want to, because we do have the filmmaker panel starting at 9:45.
Okay.
Please do stay on, everybody. You can just mingle, and you can ask your questions also during the filmmaker panel. So please stay on for that, and we can head back to the floor right now.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Biju.
Right. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. It's a lovely chat, even though there is some technical issues, but Ananya helped. Thank you, Ananya.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes, I really appreciate everybody being so patient with us, and we're going to head back now. I really do insist that you all have to stay for the Filmmaker chat. It's going to be amazing. Just hang out with everybody else until then. Right. See you back on the floor.